setting low on a hometown track. Dust rolling up like a freight train stack. Cooler in the bed of a beat-up Ford. Crowds getting loud cause they know what's in store. Engines rumbling like a southeast storm. Another wild night where new legends are born. Grab your hat, grab your girl, feel that grandstand shake. Everybody knows this ain't no small town state. Cause we're full throttle Thursday night at Ellen, big bright lights, rubbing goals, riding high, leading hard through every fight. From the backstretch to turn forward, fans holler for more and more. Ain't nothing beats that heartbeat racing. Yeah, this is iNRS racing.
All right, everyone, welcome to our Thursday night series. We've got the iNRS Racing Cup Series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. We are here in Atlanta at EchoPark for the Quaker State 200. I'm Rick Sousa here in the booth with Jordan Booth for tonight's broadcast. Jordan?
Yeah, it's going to be fun tonight. These cars seem a little out of control, and we'll have to see who can harness the beast and take the win here at EchoPark.
We've certainly seen our bits of thrills and chills already here in practice with just a couple minutes left. We thank you all for joining us here on the IWM Broadcast Network. If you do get a chance, click that subscribe button and join our family of viewers. Hope to keep you entertained here tonight, each and every Wednesday and Thursday night here on the channel. All right, with 2 minutes left, let's kind of cover what we've got tonight. All right, EchoPark Speedway. Go ahead, Jordan. Take us away.
Yeah, EchoPark, it's a odd little track. It's only 1.5 miles, but races just like a super speedway in some aspects. These cars can be bunched together all night long, but definitely a little harder on these drivers to manage it. Track temp right now at a nice 90 degrees. We expect to see that go down as we dip into nighttime here. These drivers will have 6 additional tire sets in the pits, which is going to be needed. These tires are not going to be happy after about 10 to 15 laps, so look for people to manage their tires as well as they can. Stage break will be a lap 43. Shouldn't be an issue to make it there on fuel. But we got a little keys to the race here. So one is going to be track position. This track is hard to pass at whenever you get too wide. Going to be needing to establish yourself at the front as early as you can and stay there. Secondly, you got to manage the air. These cars do not like it whenever you're right behind somebody or if you're right in front of them with how the air works in this next-gen car. So making sure that you know what your air is looking like around you. Do a little Dale Jr. impersonation and see the air. That's going to be very important tonight. And then third, luck. You need it at these super speedways, Rick, and especially now more than ever.
Yeah, with 134 laps tonight, it should go by pretty quickly here. It should, but we're expecting lots of Lots of events here tonight on the track. We'll see how that plays out. Right now, our calculations for a fuel window based on a full tank of fuel is somewhere between 56 and 60. That may change based on the draft, based on any yellows that happen to come out. So we'll have to play that one by ear. Again, as Jordan indicated, fuel is probably not the problem here. It's going to be tire wear and just other cars on the track.
Yeah, most certainly gonna need to be wary of not only yourself but all the other competitors, all other 27 of them. So gonna have 28 cars out on track tonight, and that's certainly enough to create some calamity.
All right, so right now we're wrapping up practice. That's practice is coming to a close right now. We'll move quickly over to qualifying for tonight's event. We'll spotlight a few drivers while we're working our way through qualifying, but at the same time, we'll also give you an update just on where we stand with our standings. So while the drivers are getting queued up, and if you're unfamiliar, this is your first time watching with iRacing, that these drivers will qualify concurrently. So while we may focus on one driver, all 27 or 28 are out there with the opportunity to qualify. Will every driver decide to qualify? Nope. Some drivers will we used to call it sandbagging, but really these days it's almost being smart. They're going to start at the back, and they may choose to just let the race unfold in front of them. That could be good, could be bad. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, most certainly. And just a couple of notes here about qualifying. We will have a couple of EOLs, at least one, I'm pretty sure. The car number 4, Brian Jones, will be starting at the back of this race due to an EOL. And it looks like that's it. So only one EOL tonight. So big implications there for a guy pretty high up in the points.
Yeah, with that, let's just right now you've got Jake Musso currently on the track from Cato, New York, getting his qualifying attempt in. But there's a couple of things to cover here. One, we have got a summer bracket happening. Let's take a look at that. A gander at the bracket. All right, we've already been through a couple rounds.
Yeah, so the top 32 drivers in points made the bracket. As you can see, we already have some people advancing and whatnot, but some battles to really focus in on tonight will be between these 8 drivers trying to advance in that final 4. Obviously, Lucas Gortman, the 1 seed, taking on Eric Lombard. These 2 drivers going neck and neck and wins this year, so that's going to be a hot battle. Grady Gherkin and Joe Torres as well, battling it out to see who faces that winner of the aforementioned matchup at North Wilkesboro. Then on the other side, some pretty big hitters as well, with Keenan Shoddy going up against Jacob Musso, and then Joe Musso taking on Jordan Wenzel.
Yeah, these are names that if you're a regular viewer, you hear us mention a lot. So a lot of high-ranking guys out here qualifying. There, the cream always rises, and here we are in the round of 8. We'll see how this all plays out tonight. So we'll keep you up to date on what's happening as we see bracket events happening or things that are notable during the course of the event. See if there's anybody else still. There's a lot of drivers who have not qualified as of yet.
Take a look here at Brian Jones. Obviously, we know he has an EOL, so his qualifying effort not quite as important as it would normally be, but still necessary for pit selection and things of that nature. But now we'll switch over to Tyler Lem here. 4th on his first lap, so not bad at all. Getting a little work going down pit road. Definitely doesn't hurt with how weird Atlanta's pit road is, Rick, to get some practice here.
Absolutely not. So times have populated a bit so far. Seeing some numbers dropping in. This is the unofficial qualifying. We'll get to official qualifying once we get back. So this is your first time watching, after qualifying, there's a 5-minute drivers meeting that takes place, and during that we'll speculate a little bit on what we see, but then when the drivers come back up, we will go through the actual starting grid.
Yeah, some lap times right on top of each other. Gortman taking the pole over Jeffers at the moment by 1/1000th of a second, and then a tie for 3rd between Shoddy and Daffin. So certainly some fast times being populated amongst those guys.
Right now you've got Eric Lombard Jr. out there getting his qualifying laps in. So in this track, Jordan, is it the first lap that's the fastest or the second lap?
I've never been able to figure this track out. Some weeks I swear it's the first lap, and other weeks I swear it's the second lap, and other weeks I swear I'm just not very good at it. So right there we saw Lombard go faster on his second lap, going to put him P9. So not a bad effort at all out of the 58 car, but I think it's honestly just driver preference. Whatever you feel like. If you feel like you can get the car wound up by the time you get out of 4, go ahead and take that first lap while the tires are still cool. But if not, it's not a bad idea to take that second lap. But definitely going to be a lot of ways to manufacture track position tonight, but certainly, like Billy Smith just did, put himself in P5 to start out, certainly going to help out these guys who were able to qualify up in the top 10.
Yeah, great qualifying lap. Obviously, that was his second lap, so he was able to capitalize on that. Qualifying is coming to an end right now. Out of all the drivers, let's just take a quick peek. Everybody has put up a time. So everybody has qualified. We'll see just how this all plays out now that qualifying has come to a close. All right, and we'll move over to go ahead.
Sorry, just under basically just 2/10 are separating this whole field, a tenth all the way back to 27th. So as we kind of mentioned before, while it might look like a stereotypical mile and a half, it's going to race anything but.
No, this is ever since the reconfiguration, this track has produced some wild events. It really has.
Absolutely.
All right, so now that the drivers have qualified for tonight's event, let's move on to just where we are with the standings. All right, so Jordan Wenzel sits atop, but he has got Lucas Gortman right there nipping at his heels. Only 5 points separate those two drivers.
Yeah, and as we see on that right-hand side, Wenzel was able to take the points lead from Gortman last race. So certainly those top two have separated themselves. They're in a battle of their own. Kind of looking on back down through the field, only 30 points out is Kai Collymore of the playoffs. So going to be important for him to have a good finish here at Atlanta. But one thing to note is just those stage points. You see some guys, 6 stage points for Jeffrey Ramsdale, 8 for Joe Torres, only 25 for Dakota Reeder up in 9th. These guys are going to need to start scoring some stage points if they want to vault themselves up the playoff leaderboard. Going to be hard to make up that many points by not getting yourself in the top 10 at the end of that stage.
Yeah, some good notables there is Alex Staffen, Cody Ennis right there with 75, right smack in the middle. Eric Lombard, who was the early leader in the points, wound up with some computer issues and unfortunately I think he missed the entire month of June.
Yeah, definitely put himself behind the 8 ball there, but not too bad right now in 6th in the standings, really in that tight race for 3rd. A lot of these guys are in that tight race for 3rd. About 3rd to 8th are separated by about 50, 60 points. So a lot of shakeups can happen with a couple bad races in a row.
Yeah, a couple bad races will take you down. A couple good races that will do a great job in moving you up in these points, especially with the benefit of those stage points. You can see that Lucas Gortman, 106 stage points. The same with Jordan Wenzel. They were able to capitalize on the value of those stage points. It's not like on Sunday where you've got multiple stages. They've got one opportunity each race to get an additional 10 points added to their score, and a lot of these drivers have just figured out the secret sauce to capitalize on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it much better myself. But while we got these 2 minutes, maybe we chat to somebody up here in the battle for the playoffs here. Why don't we bring in the 39 of Kai Collymore on the outside looking in, Rick?
Go ahead, bring him in.
Alrighty, let's see if we can get him up here. Kai, Jordan and Rick up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir, I do.
Kai, welcome to the broadcast booth. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, sorry, Rick. We're looking at the points here, Kai, and right now you're on the outside looking in at 17th. You need to make up about 30 points on Jeffrey Ramsdale. What's your plan going through these last couple races in the regular season, trying to get back up into the playoff conversation?
The main thing is just stage points. I think is going to be our big thing because what I've noticed, especially at the intermediates, is that the other guys that are pretty close to me above the cut line, they're not really prioritizing the stage points as much as they should be. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do. But, I mean, this is a super speedway, and earlier this year we almost won. So I think with the help of my teammate Eric Lombard in this fast 40XLI Ford Mustang, I think we can get it done, get some great points, and make our way into the chase.
Well, we sort of think that that you're poised to do that, and you figured out exactly what we were just talking about, and that was that the stage points are like the hidden gem in all of this.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the way to look at it. It really adds up more than people realize it. Even getting that one stage point is going to make a big difference at the end of a race. Same with like the fastest lap and lap sled. I think that's the thing. All that's going to add up no matter what, and I'm going to need it to add up as much as I possibly can to just get that cushion and get in as far up as I can. I don't want to be 16th at the final race and just race for my life at Daytona, because that's going to be very scary.
Absolutely. All right. Well, good luck to you. A couple seconds more, you'll be gridding up. So.
Yes, sir. We're going to give you guys a show.
You got it. All right. That was Kai Collmore as we get ready to get this grid together here. Drivers' meeting is wrapping up.
Certainly going to be a fun one to watch. These cars are going to be out of control from the start of the green flag, and people are going to be making moves that you would be sitting there scratching your head about, and they're going to make it work. So definitely a lot to look forward to over these laps of Atlanta.
All right. Looks like we're beginning to get some drivers populating. There we go. Let's get a different shot. And all right, we're ready to go. Let's bring up that grid.
Rolling off from P1 is going to be Lucas Gortman trying to retake that championship lead. And to his outside going to be Eric Jeffers in the 12 car. Right behind him in third is going to be Keenan Shoddy. And to his outside, starting in P4, is going to be Alec Daffin. In fifth is going to be a new face, Billy Smith. And to his outside, Dakota Reeder trying to establish himself further up in the playoff standings. In seventh, Pocono winner Tyler Lem. And to his outside, Corey Ennis trying to chase that elusive Cup Series checkered flag this year. In ninth is going to be Keith Fonseca looking to have a good run. And to his outside, Eric Lombard Jr. will round out the top 10.
All right, starting in P11 in row 6, you've got Jordan Wenzel to the inside. He'll have Matthew Wheeler to his outside in P12. In row 7, you've got Joe Torres with Kai Collmore, who we just spoke with, to his outside. And in row 8, you've got Brian Jones and Jake Musso. Of course, Brian will take that EOL and will fall back towards the end of this grid. Row 9 brings us Jeff Ramsdale and Eric Shearer in P18. And then in row 10, you've got Austin Walton and Eddie Musso Jr.
Rolling off from just outside the top 20 is going to be Scott Thomas on 21st. And to his outside, Super Speedway winner from 2024, Garrett Walden. In row 12, we'll have Tony Japs rolling off P23, and to his outside, Zach Carter. In row 13, we'll have Shane Trotter in the number 1 car, and to his outside, seasoned veteran Vince Burns. Rounding out our field in row 14 will be Cody Sandlin, and to his outside, the 21 car of Josh Douglas.
All right, that's our field for tonight's event. Right now the field is putting it together. Getting organized.
A lot of dust up on this track, so certainly not going to help these cars stick to the ground any better. So I have to watch for that the first couple of laps. Cars might be on edge as they start to clean up the dust and the marbles. But certainly for these guys up front, put themselves in a great position qualifying up here. We know we can make it to the end of stage 1 on fuel, so important for these guys to get a good launch and make sure that they keep their track position right where it started.
All right, we've got one more lap to get this race underway. So the lights go off on the pace car. The admins have graciously allotted us one extra lap to get organized after our grid is brought to you.
Just a little update for everybody. The 4-car of Brian Jones, he did appeal his penalty from last week, so he will get to keep his starting spot this week. But next week, if that appeal is unsuccessful, he will have to serve his EOL. So he'll get to start from where he qualified in that P15, P16 spot. So good for him to be able to not have to drive through the whole field, just about half of it.
I'm not sure if I envy that position, being stuck right there in the middle. We'll see 2 and 3 wide on this track.
Yes, 3 wide works, but it's certainly sketchy, and with the way these cars behave, it's certainly not advertised, but we'll definitely be seeing 2 wide all night long, especially as these guys, 10th on back, look to get their way up to the front and try and get some stage points here.
All right, this start of the race is on our flagman. We'll see how this goes as we about to get underway here in Atlanta. All right, green flag flies, and the Quaker State 200 underway here in Atlanta. Lucas Gortman out in front.
Good jump from Lucas, but that top lane was able to stay a little closer together. Have to see if they can form a run down this backstretch. The bottom lane is normally dominant here, but if you can get linked up early, you can make it work. Here comes the 12 car storming around the outside. He's going to clear easily. He's going to choose to drop down, leaving now the 84 of Alec Daffin to pilot that outside lane.
Yeah, we'll see these lane swaps all night long between these drivers.
Yeah, and you saw the 84 of Daffin there. He dropped low. Little contact there between the 12 and the 84. A little door slamming. He dropped down low and was not content there. He wants to clean air on that nose, and he's taking that top lane. He's got the 85 of Dakota Reader right behind him. Some pretty strong pushers there in that top lane getting formed up, and they're going to go steamrolling by on the outside here down the backstretch.
Yeah, that whole row 3 and 4, you got Eric Jeffers and Cody Harris, 2 short fuse motorsports drivers right there looking to team up and do something together.
And you almost saw a mistimed block there from the 84 of Daffin trying to cover the 85 of Dakota Reader. Definitely a little early to be making those moves, and he realized it, got back down to the bottom, but right now this top lane seems to be rolling some really good momentum down the backstretch.
Yeah, we're 2 wide nearly throughout at least through 3/4 of this field here. You've really got to be somewhat anticipatory of where you're going to put that car.
Yeah, most certainly. Right now, big loser going to be the 6 car of Lucas Gortman. Started on pole and has just fallen like a rock. He's now in the back half of the top 10 in P8, so something to watch here if he can find his way back to the front. Now we see Dakota Reader drop to the inside. Going to let Corey Ennis go around the top side. He's got the 58 of Lombard pushing him to the lead. Have to see what Corey does. It seems like these guys keep dropping to the bottom and then they go backwards again. So we'll have to see if Corey sticks it on the top lane. Looks like he will, at least for now. Have to see how patient that 58 is of sitting behind him, though.
Yeah, not too patient, if truth be told. The other thing to consider here is that this track, you can see it, it's got a white, red, white stripe that's painted right there between the apron and the racing surface. That is really to warn that driver, because at this speed on this track, crossing over that apron, especially as we get through those corners of this racing surface, is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, another recipe for disaster is going to be this 58 car on the back bumper, the 27, pushing him through the corners. These cars really don't like that. Stacks up the whole top lane. The 27 car does not look stable at all with the 58 on his back bumper. Going to have to see if they can figure out how to make those 2 cars work better together, but that's allowing the 85 of Dakota Reader to kind of just cruise along the bottom and maintain this lead, doing a really nice job keeping that bottom lane up there.
Yeah, we're still 2 by 2 by 20 at this point.
One thing that I'm noticing is that this top lane starts to kind of creep down. They'll enter in on the door of the cars on the inside. As you see the 27 dropping down to the bottom. He said he's done with the 58 on his back bumper. He's going up. Oh, 3 wide right there for a second. The 39 of Kai Collymore split in the middle. He's going to try and get to the back bumper of his teammate in the 58, and he's going to make it work. Nicely done there to keep it green.
Kept it together.
But that's where it gets sketchy. Sticking the nose in those 3 wide holes.
Yep, absolutely. I think the 10 of Matthew Wheeler was right there. I mean, he decided to bail as well and drop down to the inside line. Oh, spinning
oh, we got
up
one
in
going
front.
Around.
That's Corey Ennis
the
going
leader.
around.
Ooh, it looks like everybody. Oh, little contact further on back.
27,
like
Corey Ennis, right? Cody Sandlin involved as well.
Looks like, for the most part, everybody got away unscathed. We'll have to see if anybody else got some damage. That 27 looks relatively clean, but it's definitely an odd spot to see a wreck right there.
Go back and see what we see here with watching the 27. The 85 is right there.
Yeah, he Peeks out a little bit. See that 27 already kind of unstable. Gonna exit the corner. Just looks like a mistimed bump from the 85 sent him right around.
Watching the 27 pirouette through the field here, gets a little bit of a tap.
It was the 70 of Billy Smith got a piece of that. Great avoidance from the 6 of Lucas Gortman. Then we see the 09 further back, locking it up, trying to avoid the wreck, and can't do anything. We'll have to see if he gets any serious damage.
Yep.
Serious, that's a new word. Serious damage out of that wreck.
Tyler Lem was able to clear it without a whole lot of trouble there. What happened with the 09?
Didn't see him get pushed. He might have. We'll have to see if he got some contact from behind that helped him around, or if he just lost it on his own. Running near the back of the field, so you'd think he would have seen the car spinning maybe and got on the brakes. Looks like he tried to get on the brakes and lost it on his own, Rick.
On the apron, and then locks it up, and then unfortunately, a pretty square hit to the safer barrier there. That's never good for suspension, but he may be okay for a bit.
Yeah, he'll probably have to come down pit road and get something cleaned up there on that 09 car. Certainly an interesting ordeal, but the 27 on pit road trying to get some damage fixed up. Unfortunate for Corey Ennis, putting himself in a great spot, had all the track position he could want, and now he's going to have to battle back from the back of the field, Rick.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is the unfortunate part of this kind and style of racing here in Atlanta. All it takes is just a little nudge, and you find yourself in the pits trying to claw your way back. But the good news is he's the only car. If you can get back out here under green flag, well, under the yellow here before the leaders come back, he'll stay on the lead lap, and he is off pit road.
Looks like the 85 of Dakota Reeder liked what he saw in the top lane on that last restart. He's going to choose the top. He's going to put Eric Jeffers right behind him and leave the bottom lane for Daffin and Lambombard. A couple teammates lined up there on the bottom as well with Lambombard and Collymore. Collymore obviously talked about those stage points in the pre-race. Done a good job working his way from 14th up to 5th. Have to see if he can hold on to that and get some stage points, Rick. I mean, all these guys right now doing a good job of keeping themselves up towards the front. We'll have to see if the 6 car can battle back, though. He lost a lot of track position back to 8th after starting first.
Yeah, we're 10 laps in here, headed towards the stage break at 43. So if you're going to make a move, I know that sounds early, but you've got to keep yourself in contention.
Absolutely. And just a thing to note here, the 09 car that we saw nosing into the wall has some good front end damage, and he elected not to pit there. So he's going to have a wounded race car for the rest of this first stage. Have to see if that affects him hanging on to the back end of this pack, but we're going to be getting ready to have this pace car pull off and be in the hands of Dakota Reeder, Rick.
All right, yeah, Dakota Reeder will be our control car from the outside. Field will go on him. Like other intermediate tracks like Atlanta, there's a good opportunity for that car to grab a couple car lengths of gap to get away from the drama.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see if he can execute it here. Not great start for him. Really bad start on the inside line. A lot of separation going on there for a couple rows.
Yeah, I have to go back and look at that green flag drop. Did Daffin nose out before crossing that stripe? We'll see.
To see if there's any penalties. Not seeing any populating, but right now that bottom lane is stacked up, pushing 3 cars deep, trying their best to see a couple cars nabbing the apron there. That's never good going into a corner.
Nope. And that wiggle on that rear end of that race car is just a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely doing a good job right now at the front of this field, keeping it orderly. Still 2 by 2. No real clear advantage to any lane. We've seen that 58 be an aggressive pusher though, so I have to see if him in the 84 maybe work a little bit better, but this top lane momentum down the backstretch proving to be too much to handle for this inside lane at the moment. Able to keep that top lane kind of in control.
Looking from the inside of Kai Collimore's onboard camera, you can see just how little visibility these drivers have at this speed and just how bumpy this track is.
Yeah, you'd think for a track that got repaved not too long ago, less than 5 years ago, that it'd be a little smoother, but that is not the case at all. definitely a lot of movement going on in these cars whenever you're right next to each other like they are right now. Definitely not a welcomed feeling whenever you feel the back end of your car bottoming out.
Just watching just how much movement he's got.
As we can see, you can see it a little bit there. The 85 already showing some sparks. As we get further into the night, those sparks are only going to become more and more obvious to see. Definitely not a great feeling, but right now this inside lane doing the best they can to keep that 84 clear of the 85. Right now just kind of a stalemate going on between these two lanes though. A lot of movement going on in these cars as well, Rick. Hard to see from Kai Colleymore's in-car camera. Not a lot to see, but the 84 is all over the place. The 85 doesn't look like the most stable car either. These cars are a handful for these guys to control right now.
Yeah, big view here gives you a good picture of just what's happening right now all with this field. They are absolutely jammed up 2x2 here. All 28 drivers out there as these front two drivers swap that lead.
Yeah, and one thing to note, we saw it last time going down the backstretch from this camera shot. There's a big gap in the middle of this racetrack between the two lines. The top lane goes all the way to the wall. The bottom lane stays on the very bottom. As these tires continue to wear, it's going to be harder and harder for that bottom lane to stay wrapping that red and white striped line on the bottom. So look for them to start pushing up and start creeping into the middle lane going down the backstretch, trying to do what they can. So we see the 85 has a big moment in the fence.
Oh, spinning.
Oh, the 10's going around. Oh, he clips the 70. This is going to be big. The whole back half of the field is involved in this one. Probably going to be some big damage for a couple guys. You could see that one brewing as soon as he came back across the track whenever he clipped the 70.
Means Billy Smith, he was in the wall, pointing the wrong direction there. He's got it turned around. Brian Jones involved. Matt Wheeler. Keenan Shoddy also involved in this incident. Let's go back and take a look and just see where we are at here with this yellow. I'm going to figure it's going to be the 10 car where this all began.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Rick. Certainly not the return that Billy Smith was wanting in that 70 car. Had a couple good races back in 2025, looking for a solid day today, and unfortunately a lot of damage on that car. To see what happens here. It all started really with the 85 having a moment. 12 gets in the back of him, stacks him up just a skosh. We see the 10 car. Looks like he just gets really, really loose trying to avoid the 85, hits a bump, and around she goes, and the 70 car just nowhere to go. Slides back up. You see him slam into the 4, the 45. See some contact between the 26 and the 99 right behind him. Just nowhere for these guys to go. Big contact for the 85 into the 4, his own teammate. See the 43 scoot by on the wall.
Number of drivers.
The 5 car threading the needle. That's Zach Carter. Same with Austin Walden, almost coming to a stop, but he scoots on by. No contact there.
I don't think the
really
damage,
good avoids from a lot of the field.
Yeah, I don't think the damage was terrible for anybody per se, but a lot of drivers involved, a lot of cars in the pits.
Tyler Lem asked for an EOL, so he might have been the guy who got the worst end of that. Yeah, it looks like that car's seen some better days putt-putting it through down to pit road right now.
Yeah, I think he's got some suspension damage on that left rear. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that tire's not moving. That's not what you want to see.
No. That may be some extended pit time right there for the 99, which is very unfortunate because he is currently sitting, I think, he's in the top 5 in points right now, sitting in 5th.
Yeah, going to get no stage points. Also going to get, minimum points for the race unless he can find a way to get back out there. I don't know if that car can even be fixed. Certainly going to lose a lot of laps in the process, but it just this super speedway racing at 1.5 miles, everything happens so much faster. You'd say, it already happens fast at Daytona and Talladega, but it's such a condensed track. It's so narrow at most points, so hard to miss it. And that was at one of the widest points in the track, and still people were just getting caught up in it.
Yeah, we just, you brought up Daytona and Talladega. You're talking about tracks that are 2.6 miles in length. This is just 1.5 miles. So, pretty much a third less in overall length, which means, you've got, and the other aspect of this is if you look at the track map above, there are very small straightaways here. There's both the back stretch and that short little section of front stretch. Those are tiny little segments of straightaways where you can kind of get yourself collected and rethink what's happening. You got plenty of time at Talladega. Here, you've got no time. As soon as you're getting out of turn 2, you're into turn 3.
Pretty much. And just to note some guys who stayed out with some damage. The 10 car stayed out with a little bit of front end damage. The 79 with some front end damage as well. The 81 of Jordan Wensler, points leader, stayed out. He has some massive damage to the front end of that car. So interesting to see how those 3 cars react. But somebody who benefited from this, who we thought was, in a bad spot, would be the 27 of Corey Ennis. Finds himself right behind the top 10 and 11th. So a little bit of misfortune early, but now he's found himself marching back towards the front, and that race car looks relatively clean besides a little bit of damage still on that back bumper.
Yeah, now our front row is the 58 of Erica Bombard and Alex Daffin on this restart.
Have to see if Daffin can get a better launch than Dakota Reeder did on that last restart. Looks like he will. A little bit of help from the 39 of Kai Collymore. A lot of separation on this restart. We've seen these top 3 rows normally stay pretty connected at the beginning of these restarts, but right now, big separations going on between these cars.
A lot of early, right now, so a lot of lane changes, trying to figure out where you want to be as these, we're already just about halfway to the stage break.
Yeah, now we see those teammates from the 40XLI camp, Kai Collymore and Eric Lombard linking up on the top lane. You heard Kai's confidence whenever we talked to him pre-race. They said they almost won this race back in the spring, looking to do so now in the summer, and they found themselves nose to tail with one of them out front.
It's exactly what these 2 drivers wanted to have happen here. They're in control of their own destiny, at least at this early part of this race.
And making me eat my words while I say that. I thought the bottom lane would be normally dominant here, but these guys are making that top lane work. Starting to pull out some gaps. Both of them are clear of the 84. 84 doing his best to battle back, and he has a really good pusher behind him as well, that 25 of Jake Musso.
Yeah, if you got that driver who's going to push you from behind, he's going to be in that aerodynamic slipstream that's right behind you. That'll help you. Now, if they've got a mission, they're in the same radio channels, they can talk and work their way through this. When you've got somebody behind you that's not part of your channel, that really doesn't have your interest in helping you out here, you're going to see less of a successful story.
Yeah, absolutely, but kind of right now for Daffin and the 25, their best friends are where they can find them, and right now that's with each other. Daffin out front and Musso behind them. If you're Daffin, you got to feel pretty confident, though. That 25 normally very, very sporty at these plate tracks, so doing a really good job. That 84 has battled back to be almost alongside the 39 now. So the inside lane's certainly doing some work right now, working their way back up towards the lead.
Well, it's the shortest way around the track, and if you've got some help like Daffin does with the 25, he can make it work.
Yeah, big problem for this top lane right now is just overall numbers. You see him getting really spread out. The 12 car not quite able to get close enough to the 58. And then behind him, the 61 of Keith Fonseca not able to get close to the 12 car either. So some guys starting to battle some handling issues, I would assume, with the tires. Certainly we see the 42 get a little loose there in the back half of the screen. But right now, these guys are battling a lot in the car. And now this lap car of the 4, Brian Jones, certainly not going to make it any easier. He's going to go right up to the wall. Doing a good job keeping it out the way, but watch out on exit here. Going to get tight as he starts to build momentum, getting the draft off these cars. Doing a good job right now, funneling his way to the back.
Yeah, he's looking for a place to call home, but it may just be at the tail end of this lead lap, but they're 3 wide.
Yeah, it's something we saw in real life that could pertain to the situation. We saw Daniel Suarez at Dega in last spring try and force his way into a hole as a lap car, and it didn't quite work out. So Brian doing the smart thing right now, just going to rip it around the top, try and keep his momentum up, slot right in here at the back of the field and try and grab a lucky dog when he can.
Yep, that's the way to play it. Right now, he's got Garrett Walden ahead of him for that lucky dog opportunity, but that's the challenge that these drivers face with just 16 laps to go before the stage.
Yeah, this inside lane has battled its way all the way back to lead that lap. So this top lane starting to lose a little bit of steam. Going to have to find a little bit of something. Try and get those cars behind them closer to get more pushes down these straightaways. Because right now that run that we saw that top lane generate early on in the race is not there for the 39 right now. And I think that all goes back to just the separation. You can see it right there, even on the exit of 4. See how tight those cars on the inside are able to stay. Even those 4 cars, all the way back to the 27, able to stay really, really tight together. Meanwhile, the top lane, the 39 and 58 are relatively close, but the 12 not quite able to break that aero buffer. The 61, same deal. See him start to drive away from the 12 there in the center exit of 2. So something to watch out for is these front 2 cars are vital to a line, but that 3rd and 4th place car matter almost as much as that 2nd place car does.
All right, solid battles happening all over this track, but right there up in front, we are staying 2 by 2 here.
We're getting down to that point as well on these tires where nobody's car is doing what they want it to do. You're starting to push, you're starting to slide, you're starting to overheat them, and it's only going to get worse and worse, and we still have 15 laps to go in this stage. So certainly a lot more going to happen, and all it takes is one slip up. And that could be your day over like we saw at the 90. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 39.
Whoa,
just like we were talking about.
Yep,
those slides, they're only going to become more and more prevalent as these tires keep getting more and more laps put on them. So we're only going to see more and more of that as we continue on.
Yeah, some people say a broadcaster's curse. I say a broadcaster's premonition.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that 58 and 39 right now linked up going down the backstretch. So certainly the 39 car had that big moment and did not lose an ounce of confidence. He's still wheeling and dealing outside on that outside lane. We see him loose again off of 4.
I think
trying to do everything they can to try and clear this inside line.
Yeah, I think that 58's realizing just how loose he is. He's back off a little bit. There he goes. Now they drop down.
Yeah, that's going to leave the outside line now with the 12 of Eric Jeffers leading it. Now he's got a little bit of clean air, and I would be surprised if these guys behind the 40 XLI drivers are going to be content to stay there for very long. Maybe a couple laps right around, get closer to the end of the stage, but that 84 and 25 I would expect to make a move to the outside as soon as they can.
They're 3 wide in the back. Looking back a little bit farther, they're still trying to work their way through the lead. There's no place that doesn't have a battle somewhere on this track.
Yeah, now we look back up front with the 84 Daffin. He was tired of it already. He goes to the top. No takers until the 10 car tries to drift up there a while back. Gonna have to see if the 84 can stall out enough. Starting to see a little bit of team starting to link up here. The 40 XLI guys up front, and then on the inside line right behind him, if the 27 can close up there, 2 SFM cars right behind them as well. So
just focusing, you saw Eric Jeffers slide all the way back to the end of the line.
Yeah, his car does not seem to be doing what he wants it to do at all, but that move to the top for the 84 of Daffin did not work out for him at all. 27's going to get caught in the middle here. It's tight. 61's going to lift for him and let him in. That's where you get sketchy whenever you start to try and make a move and it's not there, and you try and double back on yourself where the car's already filled that hole. Almost had a big wreck, but the 61 of Fonseca did a nice job of lifting for him there.
Well, and the challenge you face is that when you do try to help somebody out and lift a little bit, you may wind up causing the wreck behind you.
Yeah, we see a big checkup going on right now in the back half of this field, 3 wide.
Joe Torres in the middle.
Yeah, the 6 of Gortman as well, our pole sitters back there battling, so action happening all over this track. Now it seems to start to be singling out towards the front, bottom lane becoming dominant. 27 tried to make a move, didn't work, able to slot himself back down, only losing a spot to the 61.
Single file for the first 7 or 8. No, it was. At least the first 5 or 6 cars are single file, but the field's getting stretched out just a little bit here with just 9 laps to go in this stage.
Yeah, the first cars 2 wide are going to be Alec Daffin and Tony Japs, as Tony Japs will clear his way on by. Good run going for Tony right now, but Daffin, we saw him up there. Ooh, Corey Ennis gets loose on the bottom. What a save by him. Big save by Tony Japs as well. Handling becoming a big concern, Rick, here. With still a lot of laps to go in this stage.
3 wide as well, still 3 wide.
That has certainly separated this pack up, made it a lot more single file as well. Big gap from 7th back to 8th. Daffin's going to take his run to the top. He's going to snag the wall there. His teammate, the 3 of Torres, was going to follow him, elected not to after he hit the wall. He's going to send Daffin all the way back down the order. No momentum, nobody to help him. He's gonna have to work his way back up front.
Any contact with that safer barrier is like glue. It just sucks you in and forces you back.
See a couple drivers trying to try the outside line. That's going to be the 3 of Joe Torres and the 88 of Edward Sherr Jr., name we haven't called tonight, working his way towards the front.
Finds himself in the top 10. "38 laps complete."
Right now, these drivers doing their best to hang on to these cars. They're not trying to respond to any sort of wheel input that you're giving them. Starting to see this bottom lane, like I said, giving themselves a little bit bigger of an arc into 3. The arc into 1 is kind of already set for you with the dog leg that we encounter going off into turn 1, but 3 is just a sharp turn, straightaway, then turn, no angle given. So starting to see that bottom lane creep up towards the middle like we thought they would. Trying to help that right front turn down the hill into 3.
Even with that damage to the nose of the 81, Wenzel now finds himself in the top 5.
Yeah, certainly making that damage look like it doesn't even matter. Doing a good job right now, though, of keeping himself in the wake of other cars. Well, you might think that might hurt his handling. Keeping that basically snow plow that is the front end of that 81 out of the clean air.
So the 55 of Vince Burns just nabbed the littlest bit of that apron, and that car was a wiggle one.
Certainly, these cars are a handful right now with 4 to go. Going to be coming back to 3 to go in the stage. A lot of slicing and dicing going out through this field. Everybody trying to do what they can to nab any stage points at this rate.
Kai Collmore up in front, Eric Lombard, Jake Musso, Keith Fonseca, and Jordan Wenzel. That's your top 5.
Still 3 to go in this stage. A lot can happen in 3 laps around Atlanta. All it takes is one person getting loose to set them off. Right now, the single file all the way back to P8 with the 55 of Burns, the 6 of Gortman trying to do what he can to get that outside lane form back up and go forward again. Just nothing really doing out there as these tires begin to wear. Saw the 58 go up the track a little bit. 25 tried to stick a nose down in there. Wasn't quite able to do so, but that 25 is all over the back bumper of the 58, trying to do anything he can to get that 58 up out of the groove and get himself another position.
Collmore up in front and leading. He has led 21 laps here.
Oh, 6 got a bad push going down the backstretch. 3 wide, we got 1 on the apron. That's going to be the 12 of Eric Jeffers further on back. Big stack up going on there. Great job by everybody to keep a hold of it. As we come back now to 1 to go in the stage. Still single file up front as these guys start to figure it back out.
No change so far in our running order as we head towards our stage break.
Yeah, 39 has a big gap going down this backstretch. Going to be interesting to see what these cars behind can do about it. See the 81 going to try his hand at the top, trying to go around the outside of the 61. 58 has a bumper full of 25. 25 is going to shuck him up out of the lane. Going to be a drag race for P2, but Kai Collmore will nab the stage win, which is exactly what he told us he wanted to do in his pre-race interview, Rick.
He sure did. I think Lombard will get credit for that P2 as well. So 1 and 2 for 40 XLI.
Certainly flexing a little bit of muscle there, but wow, those cars were a handful if you weren't up front. And even if you were up front, they still weren't the easiest things to drive.
See the cars slowing down as they wait for the pace car to catch up. Right now the pits are, I believe they are closed until we make their way back around.
Looks like we might have some takers now, honestly, Rick. Well, while they do that, what a hectic first stage that was.
Wow. You saw the Kai Collmore and Eric Lombard find a way to stay on that outside line, make the charge, and then with just a handful of laps to go, they figured out how to put themselves up in front and stay there.
Yeah, most certainly. These pit stops are going to be important for these guys trying to keep their track position. Looks like Daffin might have missed coming to pit road, so look for him to pit next time by. But while these guys do their pits, after they get out of the pit road, Rick, what do you think about getting the 25 up into the booth and asking what he needs to get past those 40 XLI cars?
Sounds like a plan.
We'll let him get through the pit stop. Don't want to interrupt his ordeal that he's got going down there on pit road. Let him get out of there, and then we'll bring him up in here. Looks like a smooth stop for the 39 and 58. They'll hold serve as well as the 25. Let's go ahead and grab Jacob Musso up here. Jake, Jordan, and Rick up in the booth. You got us?
I sure do.
Alrighty, well, we certainly saw a hectic end to stage 1. It looked like you were doing anything you could to get past those 40 XLI cars up front. Did a good job there of getting the 58 up out of the groove, just weren't quite able to get him at the stage. What do you need to do a little differently here to get past those guys?
Yeah, I just got to take care of the right rear a little bit more. We're slipping and sliding tonight. There's not a lot of grip on entry, so it's about picking your runs, and hopefully I can get a good pusher behind me. I felt confident in Keith, but I was just trying to build a run, but there at the end. But Eric put it on my bumper, and I really couldn't get a run, so kind of jumped to the outside, so I just decided to move him out of the way a little bit.
Yeah, solid.
Rick, you get it?
Yeah, I was going to say it's a solid run so far, but you're definitely going to need some help up front.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we can get some SFM teammates up here and get around these guys, and hopefully we can do some lane blocking.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Ready. That was Jake Musso in the 25 car. It looks like Daffin elected to stay out, Rick, so he is he's playing a different game than the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's odd. He has not come in. Of course, it was our estimate, and we could be way wrong, that we're looking at somewhere about 56 to 60 laps, which is perfectly fine here. But now we're 46 laps in, so he may only have, 15 laps or so of fuel. Let's take a look at our fuel calculation.
We had a couple cautions, so I'd say he might be able to go a touch further, but I'd say at most he's looking at maybe going 20 laps after this.
Let's grab Daffin's. So yeah, I think it's got like a quarter of a tank of fuel left.
Yeah, so definitely not ideal at all. We'll have to see what his strategy is, but he's going to be in control of this restart.
Yeah, he sure is.
So we'll have to see what happens here. I mean, if he catches a caution here in 15 laps, he's going to have fresher tires and more fuel than the rest of the field unless they come pit with him. So it could work out, but could make us look like a fool like we did at Nashville. But right now, it's a head scratcher.
Yeah, I think I've given up trying to figure out. Sometimes I've been wrong every single time.
Daffin leads us back to the restart zone. He gets a good launch with the 58 on his back bumper. 39 not quite able to hang as tight. He does have the 25 behind him, but losing cars quickly on that top lane. Have to see if the 39 can find a home down on the bottom, or if the 58 joins his teammate. He will. See what Daffin does here down the backstretch. Going to have a decision to make. Does he stay on the bottom, or does he try and cover? He goes to cover. And now he's back down to the bottom, so a little bit of a fake out there from the 84 now. It's the 58 going to the outside of him, trying to take this lead.
Yeah, he's going to need some help from that 61 of Keith Fonseca right there. There's a lot of wiggle happening behind with that one car of Shane Trotter as well.
Yeah, some really strong cars here in the outside lane. The top three finishers from stage 1 are all in the outside lane right now with 58, 39, 25. So some really good super speedway racers up there. Have to see if that inside lane's able to hang. Now doing a good job, the inside line is with the 84 and the 61. 84 is going to almost get clear there on exit of 4. Fresh tires right now allowing everybody to drive the line they want besides the 84. He's got to keep that clean air on the nose. That's going to be really important for him to hang on to this thing. See some pushing at the corners going on there on that top line.
Yeah, he needs every help he can get.
See.
Yeah, absolutely. Field breaking up just a little bit towards the backside, but we are packed in 2 by 2 here at the front.
Yeah, this inside line right now is doing a really good job with the 84 leading and the 61 of Fonseca behind. Oh, big wiggle out of the 58 there, going across those bumps out of 4.
Yeah, just that looks like a little bit of a mistimed push there. You've really got to have these bumpers squared up here, because if you grab any one of those corners, you're spinning that car around.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the top lane fading quite a bit here. Not quite able to mount the charge that they were early in this race. Going to have to find something here as this inside lane starting to train him on the top. Ooh, 39 tried to find a home on the inside. Unable to. Looks like the 9 lifted out of it. Almost contact between the 39 and the 9, but now they'll find their home on the inside line. Heads up play there out of the 9 of Austin Walton to keep an accident from happening.
That outside line's kind of broken up a little bit here.
See single file starting to form. Now, while these guys do have 100% fuel and we don't think fuel saving is necessary, it could shorten up that stop if you're looking at not taking 4 tires. I'd be surprised if we see any 2-tire calls, but certainly right now, a lot of these guys might just be riding, conserving some tires, saving some fuel. We know this 84 car is in a way different league than the rest of the field, so definitely going to shake some things up whenever he pits.
Really, there's just one stop left here based on this fuel mileage. Well, at least that's for everybody but Alex Daffin.
Yeah. So we think Daffin at most can go 20 laps from the stage. So we'd expect him around in about 10 laps to have to pit. 10 to 15 laps, we'll say. So certainly time is running out on that 84 camp to try and get back up there. But
See the
big shakeups
telemetry
in the field now.
See the telemetry what we see on the 39 car. Now let's compare that to the 84. Yeah. He's seeing that fuel pressure light barking at him on that dash.
Yeah, most certainly. See a lap car up here. That's going to be the 70 of Billy Smith running in the middle line. But this whole field, single file besides a couple stragglers on that outside. So looks like everybody's trying to take care of it right now. See some contact there between the 58 and the 6, starting to push and shove a little bit.
Yeah, the 70
No
of Billy
lost between those
Smith
two.
was actually the last car on the lead lap, and now he finds himself the first car 1 lap down.
And even as these guys are single file, we see him getting squirrely right there. The 58 got a bad bump from the 39. Teammates right there almost had a bit of catastrophe. 58 did a good job of hanging on to it. But certainly this is shaking up the field with those guys getting stuck on the top and going backwards. I mean, assuming Daffin has to pit when we think he does, that's going to leave the field in the hands of the 61 of Keith Fonseca, the driver we haven't said much of. Oh, we got contact between the 6 and the 58.
Holding it together,
Everybody
but just barely.
hanging on. Wow. How was that not a wreck?
Holy cow.
Have to see what happened there.
Yeah, I don't think we're still done, but we're gonna look back and see if we can find that.
Definitely broke this field up quite a bit.
See if we can see this here in lap 56.
We see the 58 gets below the 6 here through the dog leg, tight portion of the track, and the 6 just runs him out of room.
I don't
Definitely
know.
not an opportune spot to pass.
How did that 6 save that?
Definitely a great save from the 6 of Gortman. We see now the 58 alongside barely. Not a lot of damage to any car in particular, so it looks like everybody's going to be rolling decently here. Certainly a question mark spot to pass.
Well, that was a fabulous save by the 6.
Absolutely. Kept this field right on trucking. But that definitely broke this field up now. As you see, the top 5 have pulled away by 2 seconds over the rest of the field. These guys behind are going to have to do something to catch these guys back up, or else it's going to be a race between 4 drivers once Daffin has to pit.
The top 5 are kind of in that breakaway. Austin Walton leads them. Kai Collmore here as they try to chase down these leaders.
Yeah, certainly 2 cars that aren't necessarily, we haven't seen up front all night. 58 makes another pass on the 6, 3 wide behind him.
Still 3 wide.
58 does not want to ride behind that 6, it looks like, at all.
All this action behind absolutely helps out those leaders up front.
Tight move from the 10 there to slot back in. But yeah, as I was saying, these drivers up towards the front of this line are not two guys that we've seen lead a line all night long, and they're losing time right now. Walton and Trotter not quite able to make the pace that the leaders pack make. Oh, we see the one going around. Great save from the one car. Looks like that was just the aero group that we were talking about in the pre-race. Get somebody right up your bumper like that, and they become a handful quickly. What a save.
Yeah, good save by the one. We've seen two good saves tonight. And the challenge is that you see that car, if you're the driver behind, and you see that happening in front, your first instinct is to step out of the throttle to stay out of the drama. And that sometimes causes wrecks behind you. That didn't happen.
Absolutely.
Oh,
that was... Oh, we got one car down by the inside wall. Wasn't able to catch who that was. Looks like it might be the 6 at Gortman.
It's Gortman.
Yeah, he's got some damage. Have to see what happened to him. Obviously, we saw contact between him and the 58 earlier. Wondering if this was a continuation of that moment. That car is wounded badly.
Looking for some type of information here. See if we can, if this is before or after.
Good through here.
Oh, there's the contact.
Oh, 55 got loose. Sent that 6 right down into that inside wall. Yeah, it looks like the 55 just got a little bit of that aero grief that we were talking about before. Lost the back end of the car and nowhere for the 6 to go. Unfortunate for him.
The only saving grace there was it was a square door-to-door contact.
Yeah, but the contact with the inside wall is definitely going to hurt that car. He's well off the pace here. He's going to need a caution, but right now we see now Collymore and Wenzel have linked up to lead this group, so with Lombard behind, so they're going to see if they can make up any time on these leaders. Right now the gap between them and that lead pack is over 3 seconds, so they're going to need to find some speed here because they are still losing to those guys up front.
Yeah, good runaway for those 5 up front.
Oh, looks like up front we had a little bit of action. The 61 car. Uh-oh. That's right in front of the field.
Oh!
Oh!
In the air, in the catch fence.
Oh, he's flipping. Wow.
Oh.
Oh, and the 27 just collected at the very end.
That's a little insult to injury right there. A little
yeah. 26 car is broke right there on the inside. That's Eddie Musso Jr.
Yep, he's in trouble.
Oh, that 61 is done.
Yep, 61 and well as the 26 both have meatballs. They're both damaged. They'll need to come in for repairs.
And that saves the 84 of Alec Daffin.
Absolutely.
And as well as the 6 car of Gortman. He did not go a lap down, so he's going to still be in this race. Some damage, though, on some contenders. Going to need to get this fixed, but wow. We'll have to see what happened with the 61 car. Just loses it on his own.
Let's find it. Yeah, just a little. Well, you know, again, you talked about that aero being such a factor.
Yeah, it looks like the 97's still a good bit behind it. Might have played a touch of a factor, but looks like he got a little high coming out of the corner. If you compare him to the rest of the cars behind, you see the 97-3 all below him. Looks like he might have yanked a little too much wheel trying to keep it down and then tried to keep it off the inside wall. Does a good job there, but you could tell this was going to be bad whenever he slid back up on the track. Doesn't have it locked down, trying to get it whipped back around, and momentum's going to take you right up and just nowhere for these guys to go. Some big contact. Ramps right over the 12 car, 85 of Dakota Reeder involved. Oof.
Yeah, both cars involved, the 26 and the 61. Major damage. 27, nowhere to go.
45 does a good job scooting on by on the top. 79, good job getting her woe down. Good job by a lot of these guys, but a lot of damage going to be getting fixed in the pits here. And a couple days definitely over.
Yep, everybody's in. 26 of Musso and the 61 both in, both extended period of time. I do see the 70 of Billy Smith does have a black flag. Not sure exactly what happened to Billy.
Saw some damage on the 58 of Lombard in that kind of wreckish scene with the right front. Might have been from some contact before.
He's still
But-
in the pits. Number of drivers taking extended time on pit road to get as much repairs done as possible.
But once again, Rick, our strategy where we are scratching our head has made us look a fool. Daffin was able to stretch that field just long enough to get the caution, and now he is back up front and on the same playing field as the rest of these guys. Now the big thing here is we're going to go back to green flag racing with about 61 laps to go. So this might have just turned into a fuel match here between a lot of these guys, unless we get another caution.
Yeah, let's not rule out that caution, but certainly it's possible this was the final stop of the event.
Most certainly so. Now we'll have the same kind of 4-car breakaway that we had up front, minus the 61, who is unfortunately going to probably be out of this race.
Currently our championship top 5, you got the 81 of Wenzel back there in P13. The 86, who's the 86? No, that's the 6. That's a typo. The 6 of Gortman, he's back all the way in P23. 45 of Shoddy, P18. Musso is the big winner. He is currently in P4.
Yeah, big day going for Jake in the 25 car. Got some good stage points in stage 1 as well, so looking to do what he can to vault himself up into 3rd in the standings. I think 1st and 2nd are kind of gone. We see the 6 car there lipping it off pit road. He has some damage, so I believe he's going to be a lap down with some damage as well.
Yep.
He will be. He'll be the 1st car lap down, so he'll be racing with the 70 and the 4 car to try and get his way back on the lead lap. But a little thing to note, him and the 58 are around each other, and I don't think there's any love lost with the move the 58 pulled and then the 6 kind of chopping down across him. So might be something to watch for back in the pack. But up front, Alec Daffin making our strategy call look wrong.
Bringing back up that bracket, definitely some notables here with Gortman and LeBombard right there.
Yeah, certainly one to watch, see if the 6 car can get his lap back, but we'll be back to green flag racing here. Good launch from the 84, not a great launch from that top lane in the 97 of Jeff Ramsdale. Going to stack up those cars behind him just ever so slightly. See what type of run himself in the 25 can build. Nope, he's going to try and duck down right. Ooh, not quite clear the 39 car. 39 car says, no thank you, sir. Get back up there. Going to kill the run the top lane was going to have and let these front 2 cars kind of break away from the field a little bit.
Ramsdale's hoping for a bit of push from the 25 there. He wanted to get down to that inside line. He's there now. That leaves the 25 up there to lead.
Talked about quite a lot. It's going to be that 42 of Tony Japs right there, doing a good job right outside the top 5 and 6, doing a good job. But up front, 2 teammates, Alec Daffin and Joe Torres, leading the field right now, doing a good job getting themselves nose to tail up front for WL2 Motorsports. Looking to set sail here and see what they can do up front now.
Kai Collmore continues to be noting his presence up there in the top 5. But he's surrounded around with some new faces around him right now.
Yeah, the 9 car cut him a big break early, so we'll have to see if the 9 car cashes back in that one that he's owed from the 39 later on in this race. But right now that bottom lane starting to pull that top lane pretty good. So you'll still see a lot of cars up there in that top lane, just not quite able to form the momentum that they need to get up towards the front.
Outside line has gotten a little squirrely, and 3 wide.
58 car is not wanting to be behind anybody this race. He's trying to get himself back up towards the front. He takes it 3 wide and makes it look easy going around the 88 of Scherer Jr. Going to put himself 3rd now on that top line. But as we keep winding these laps down, only 58 to go, going to come back to 57 to go. These moves are going to get wilder and wilder. Those 3 wide moves right now that look like they have a decent amount of space, that space is going to close up quickly.
It's easy to make those 3 wide moves on fresh tires, but as these tires wear down towards towards the latter half of this run, it's not going to be as easy.
Yeah, we see him make another move right there to the inside of the 10 car. 10 car looks a little bit reluctant to give up that space, battling back here on the top. Gonna have no help down here into 3. He's gonna lose a couple spots now. Nab to the wall a little bit, it looked like there. Not a lot of momentum going for those 10 cars. He's looking to find a hole back down in the top lane.
Yeah,
the
it
middle lane now.
continues to slide further on back and finally finds a home to stick the nose of that car. The 42 was,
that was tight.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of sedate up in front at this point, but it's wild in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys up front look cool, calm, and collected, but behind them it's anything but that. So now we see a couple strong cars getting nose to tail in that top lane, we think. The 25 and the 58 both have looked very, very competitive this afternoon, or this evening. See what they can do. This 97 looks to peek his nose out for a second. Things better if it drops back down to the bottom. Have to see if these guys are able to mount a charge and get up towards the front.
25, 58, 88, all nose to tail here.
Seeing a lot of separation going on in the back half of this pack, though. A lot of guys with some wounded race cars doing what they can to manage their stuff right now. See the 81 jump up to the top. That's going to put 2 SFM cars there now leading the top lane. See if they can accomplish anything up there. See the 09 below looking a little squirrely there, coming off of 4. Able to keep it gathered up for now.
And 81 runs up high towards that safer barrier.
Lost a little bit of ground whenever he did that, so they're going to need to go back to the drawing board, try and find something else to make a little bit of time. The 10 car's leaking up. I don't know if he was trying to get up or if he got tight, but wouldn't advise doing either of the two when you got a car in your right rear. That could have been bad. 81 cut him a big break.
Super
10 loose again.
That's the 85 of Dakota Reader, who's right there on his bumper.
3 wide behind him.
That's a Bombard again.
Making that middle lane work. Going into 1 every time. It looks like he's trying to stick that nose 3 wide middle, and they're giving him the space right now. Ooh, contact there between 58 and 88 in the center corner. A little bit of a check up there. No harm, no foul. Everybody keeps rolling for now, but this top lane just unable to get anything moving.
We have a challenge up front there, I think.
It looks like these two teammates are working well together. You see the 84 for a second there was off the bottom just a bit, trying to give that 3 a little bit of clean air to work with, get that front of the car pointed a little easier without having to use too much tire. Doing good right now, these two guys are. Obviously teammates have the benefit of communicating with each other, but right now doing what they can to keep those hungry drivers behind them.
Kai Collmore continues to hold on to 3rd with Austin Walton behind, and Jeff Ramsdell right there with IRFK in 5th.
Yeah, good run going for Austin Walton in that 9 car. Been patient tonight, been cutting people a lot of breaks. If good karma is a thing, I think that he thinks he has enough of it to go up there and win this race. Oh, squirrely there's the 84 with the 3 on his back bumper.
Super easy to do here. We talked about it all night. Not only the fact that the cars were a little loose on setup, but the track has changed.
Yeah, absolutely. As this track keeps cooling down, those front tires keep working a little bit better. We see the track temp down only 2 degrees at this point. Air temp keeping the track temp nice and high for us, but even those 2 degrees make those front tires work a little bit better, which is prone to let the rear step out on you a little easier. So a lot of the things that these drivers are going to manage, the rubber buildup on the track as well. A lot of challenges these guys are facing inside the car, and they're not getting easier to drive as this race goes on.
50 laps complete here at the Quaker State 200 here at EchoPark Speedway in Atlanta. We thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Racing Series. You get an opportunity, if you are so inclined, hit that subscribe button and join the IWM Broadcast Network family. We'll keep you up to date. We have solid racing here on Wednesdays and Thursday nights. Every Thursday night you get a little preview of what's going to happen on Sunday in the NASCAR Cup Series. And then on Wednesday, we'll pick it up again. And if you liked it so much, you want to do it again, tune in the following Wednesday.
And a driver we've seen being aggressive all night long. 58 of Lombard's worked its way up to 7th, making it 3 wide on the bottom, middle, wherever he can. So we see this lap car up ahead. That's the 6 of Gortman. Already 1 lap down. Does not want to lose another lap. Big check up behind. This could be sketchy if he stays on the bottom. What's he going to do? He's going to elect to use the apron. It's going to be good as long as the field can clear him. Is he going to keep it down there until the field class? He will. That's some good sportsmanship out of the 6 car. Knows his race is more than likely over. Good to see. See
think
the
you got
97 trying to.
I think of Billy Smith up there as well. He's going to wind up with these leaders right there as he stays to the high side.
Yep. These lappers doing a good job right now, trying to do their best to stay out of the way, not be in the middle of the race. Doing a good job. So we see now it looks like the 58 got underneath the 09 again, going into one. So that's going to be another spot for the 58. Going to bring the 27 of Corey Ennis along with him.
Oh, wrecking! 85 goes
wrecking.
around.
81 involved. Big wreck on the backstretch. Meatball for Dakota Reeder. His day is going to be more than likely over unless it's something they can fix quickly. Some hefty damage on the rear end of that race car. Have to assume there's a toe link bent.
Some right front damage, I think, as well. We'll see when he goes around what we see on the 85.
Fortunate. Yep, definitely some right front damage. Rick, you called it. Yeah, that right front tire does not look like it's oriented correctly on that car. A little bit skewed off. We'll have to see if this meatball's something he can fix quickly and maybe not lose too many laps. But now this brings the question of, does this field come down pit road, take some tires and gas, or do they stay out and elect to take the track position? Looks like the 39 is going to be the first car to come in. A lot of drivers going to stay out. Bit of a mixed bag here as we look back at what happened to this 85 car. Looks like the 09 in front was kind of all over the road there and caused a little bit of a checkup behind him. Unfortunate. Those guys involved behind.
Yeah, a little victim of circumstance right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a lot of takers on pit road.
Doesn't look like too many guys wanted to stay out there, so going to be interesting to see how much tires really help these drivers and what the call is here, if it's 2 or 4 tires or what it is.
'39 took 4.
Another thing to note, it looks like the 4 car Brian Jones got a wave around, so he'll be back on the lead lap.
So those drivers who did not come in will be Daffin, Torres, Walton, and Sandlin.
Yeah, we've seen Sandlin be involved in some wrecks tonight, doing what he can here to manufacture some track position. So I'm getting a little squirrely there, so have to see if he's able to hold on to it on these older tires.
Older tires on a restart up front. That sounds like an interesting recipe.
Yeah, and he's got some scrapes over there on that right front too. Unsure if that's any actual damage on the car or if it's just merely cosmetic, but something to note as well. And he's got 2 of the most aggressive drivers in the field right behind him as well, with LaBombard and Collymore. We've seen them be fast and aggressive all night long, so we'll have to see if he's able to fend those guys off. But definitely some track position gains for those 4 that stayed out, or at least held serve. You got to wonder if Daffin, Torres, and Walton are kind of kicking themselves over not pitting there, being that they were running in the top 4 already. But your bet is made at this point.
With 40, definitely 43 laps or so left in this event. 42 will go back with about just over 40 laps or so. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, certainly a lot at stake for a lot of these drivers up towards the front as well, with playoff seeding, getting even into the playoffs. A lot on the line for these drivers, and it can go wrong so fast, as we've seen for numerous cars tonight.
Now, I'm not sure if Daffin has enough fuel to finish this race. He last pitted on lap 67. I mean, yes, we've had a caution or 2, but
that would put them with, if they pit on lap 67, count the caution laps, just put them on lap 70 to make math easy for ourselves. It'd be about 60 laps to go, and we've seen him obviously stretch fuel longer than that with about a couple cautions or so. So
fair.
Definitely going to be tight for them, but I'd say if I trust anybody, I trust Daffin and that team right now to make sure that they got enough fuel in that thing to go the distance.
Well, we'll sure find out. I would love to hope that we would go caution-free for the rest of the race, but if you're a gambling man, that's not I wouldn't take that bet.
Yeah, I'd say you're getting pretty good odds on that bet, at least if you want to look at the bright side, but definitely not necessarily as confident in that making money as I would be a savings account. So pace car's going to peel off, leaving the field in the hands of WL2 Motorsports. Daffin going to be the control car on the outside. He'll fire cleanly. Big jump. 09 looks like he spun his tires a little bit, not going at all. Big gap from the 09 to the 84.
And a big checkup
Three
on the
wide
inside.
already. They're looking to dump him as soon as they can. Everybody lining up to train the 09. He's going to be going to the back quickly unless he can find a hole.
Torres hooks back up with his teammate on the inside line, but they've got the 58 back there nipping with the 9.
Get on the outside. Don't count out that 27 and 25 either. We've seen those SFM cars be so good at these super speedway style races, especially at Atlanta. So don't count out those two. They've looked very strong as well in points of this race. We saw the 27 get turned from the lead, and yet here he is battling back out of the 39 using those fresh tires. He's already looking to the outside of the 84.
Solid run right now. That 39 takes that high line.
Not a lot of help behind him on exit of 4, though. Gonna need those guys behind him to get a little closer, give him some more aero shoves or physical shoves. There's the 27, connects to the back bumper, the 39. They're getting close. They're gaining on it. They just need to make a couple solid laps in a row and see what they can do up here. But right now, those cars on the outside looking strong and making that top line more competitive than we've seen it since stage 1.
39 looking for his teammate to find his way up to get on that rear bumper. Those two were really making some hay early in tonight's event.
Absolutely. Have to see if the 58, 39 are able to get linked back up, but right now just kind of a log jam right now. 2 by 2, nowhere to go. We've said that before and they made it 3 wide, so I guess I shouldn't say there's nowhere to go. There's always a hole if you're trying hard enough.
As the 58, he's been using that third lane all night long.
They've most certainly been effective using that third lane as well. Now we see that the 39 is drawn even with the 84. Some big pushes from the bumper. The 27 have propelled that 39 all the way back up front. He's going to lead this lap by a half a car length. Going to be interesting to see if he can clear, though. And if he does clear, what does he do? Does he leave those 2 SFM cars up front by themselves? Or does he elect to stay in front of them? Definitely some options on the mind for the 39, but first things first, they got to work hard to clear.
58 has just jumped up to the high line, getting behind the 25.
So we see all it takes is a couple bad corners. 39 a little loose there on exit, able to hang on to it, but all it takes is a couple bad corners, and that inside line surges once again. 84 back clear by 2 car lengths.
Oh,
contact between the 58 and the 25.
25 hit
Stacks
the
up the
wall.
field. Some tight racing there. Everybody looks like they've managed to get away unscathed, but that is going to drain any momentum out of that top lane that they thought they had. They are going to need to get some cars up there in a hurry and mount this charge all over again.
Further on back, you can see it was 3 wide for a second with the 1 and the 55. There's action all over.
Ooh, 25 in the fence going into 1. Top lane's linked back up a little bit better here now, but instead of the 25 behind the 27, it's his other teammate, the 12 of Eric Jeffers, now behind the 27. We've seen the 27 on long run, or the 12, sorry, on long run struggle to maintain. Ooh, the 9 jumped up. A little bit of contact there between him and the 39. Going to be able to get back down. The 97 lifts for him. 97 drifts up the track now.
Little contact
Looks
behind
like the
as
9
well.
was trying to cash back in one that he was owed from the 39, and the 39 was not open for business. Said, nope, I don't want you to be in front of me. Definitely letting those top 2 kind of set the pace that they want to set right now, though. No challenge out back, doing their thing. Top lane needs to get formed again and make this charge if they want to go compete with the 84 and 3.
Good run by the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell. He's still holding court. He's in 5th.
Right now that top lane just lacking the momentum that they had early in the run. Tires are starting to wear. We see a potential 3 wide move there to the 58. He is anxious to get back up towards the front of this field.
Those 3 drivers who stayed out, on lap 86, they're still running up front 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, looking like a really good strategy call here, as it's so hard for this top lane to get anything going. Gonna need some solid pushes here out of the top lane, but once again, we're starting to see that gap start to form between the lead car and the trailing car in that top lane. Those cars on the top need to do a better job of staying connected on corner exits, especially if they want to mount this charge again.
A lot of action all the way back mid-pack here. Again, looking for a little bit more help. They're fading back a little bit on that outside line.
Yeah, those tires are starting to wear out a little bit, it looks like, leading to that bottom lane dominance that we saw towards the end of stage 1 as well. One thing to note, though, is that these guys on the bottom lane do have older tires, the front three do, than the rest of the field behind them. So look for them to maybe have some problems a little faster than the rest of them. What is the 58's able to go 3 wide on the 12. It's another spot for the 58, looking to get back towards the rear bumper of his teammate. Now just the 27 separating those two drivers.
Daffin continues to lead with just 32 laps to go.
Yeah, those 3 cars on the inside right now, the 84, 3, and 9 doing a really, really good job. Starting to see a little bit of a charge back again from the top lane. Had a really good 3 and 4. Now they draw back even alongside the 9 car. Gonna be interesting to see if they can keep this momentum up, though, running some really good laps on the top side right now.
Solid effort here.
Starting to see some of those guys that stayed out, the 9 in particular, start to drift up the track a little more than he was earlier, hurting those 2 guys on the inside at the front of the inside lane. Sorry, not able to get as close to him as before, dealing with some handling issues. So that's allowing this outside lane to start to build some momentum. They're a little tighter than the inside lane right now, getting some really good pushes from the 27 to the back bumper of the 39.
Yeah, the 9 beginning to slip back a little bit. Now he's back to 6th.
We've seen this before. Kai Collymore now going to lead this lap by half a car length yet again. Ooh, contact back further on. That looks like the 42 of Tony Japs got into the wall a little bit.
42 still against that safer barrier here, now 3 wide.
Well, now up front, these cars are starting to clear those guys on the bottom. Both the 39 and 27 are clear of the 84. Interesting to see what happens here. 39 does not want to leave his teammate, it looks like, but the 27 is not content to ride. 27 is going to go down to the inside.
39 finds a way to stay up high and picks up Eric LeBombard.
Now we have to see how that 84 can do now with those old tires. Now dirty air for the first time. 39 doing his best impersonation of Dale Jr. or Dale Sr., managing those lines, going top to bottom, bottom to top as much as he can right now.
That's always a challenge.
Oh, most certainly. And now the 27's got those fresh tires as well. So these 2 guys up front are going to have to work hard. These 40 XLI cars are going to have to work really, really hard to try and clear that 27 car. Right on board here with Corey Ennis, see what he's seeing. See a lot less wheel in that car than you would expect to see. That clean air and those fresh tires are doing wonders right now. Just not a lot of help out back.
They are coming up to, I think that's the 10.
Is the 10. This could be a factor. He's going to be on the top side against the wall. Definitely sketchy through the dog leg. The front half of the field will make it through. We see 39 look to go down. Trying to give dirty air to the 27, but at the same time it gives draft to the 27 and not to the 58. So a little net loss there for the 40 XLI guys in their attempt to get clear of the 27. Corey doing a great job on the inside line right now, managing what he can do to keep that 58 from clearing. Ooh, bad corner there, though. The 27 slips back a bit. Going to be a tight clear here for the 40 XLI guys if they want it on the bottom. 25 in the wall bit, but they will drop down.
On board with the 12 of Eric Jeffers as he's trying to figure out how to get his car up to the front.
Yeah, we've seen the 12 really start to struggle on the long runs. Oh, 39 hit the apron. Loose. Big checkup. Causes a lot of calamity.
Oh, 3 wide at the front.
27 is going to squirt through the middle. Now it's going to leave the 27 and the 58 battling it out. What a save from the 39, but going to drop him back some spots. That's going to let the 27, Corey Ennis, now finds himself up front just like that. The 84 now on the outside with those old tires.
24 laps to go. New leader.
Corey's going to be managing those cars behind as best as he can right now. He knows the outside lane, not quite as dominant as the inside lane, but he also knows these 40XLI guys are mad aggressive at making it 3 wide as he looks, he's going to go to the top. He's going to pick up the 84, that's going to give the 58 and the 39 the inside line. We're going to try and build that momentum, build that run with those cars behind. A lot of SFM cars in that top line. 3 of the top 4 of those cars are SFM cars. Big pushes going to the back bumper of the 27 right now.
40XLI guy drivers have flipped their position now. 58 is up front, 39 behind.
Oh,
Caution's
yellow flag.
out.
That's going to shake some things up now.
No idea what brought
Looks like
out
the-
that caution.
Looks like the leader will be scored as the 27. So big gain for Corey Ennis there. Now the question here, Rick, is do they take tires or do they not?
Do they take right side only? Do they not? Don't know. Stay tuned. We'll find out about 15 seconds.
Oh, looks like the 09 car was the source of that caution. Looks like he packed some air on the 55. Got him loose in the 55. Might have repaid a little favor there to the 09. The 09 had it saved, and then Weeble wobbled his way right into the door of the 5 car. Then Weeble wobbled a little more and spun it around on the apron. Unsure why that would be a caution, but nonetheless.
I think there's more than one little incident here. I think the 09 may have tapped him. Yeah, a little bit of a bumper shot there between the 09 and the 55. 55 comes back up.
Yeah, 55's just trying his
Oh,
best to save the. Ooh, that might have been a little bit of
Yeah.
hey man, don't do that. That might have been a little. And then the 09 here, he has it saved pretty good, and then he just can't get the wheel straight. Big contact with the 5 car. And then, yeah, interesting.
So is that. There we go. We'll let the admins figure the rest of that story out.
Yeah, a little bit of self-policing never hurt anybody. NASCAR didn't give out penalties, so why should we?
That's right. That's right.
But big shakeup here on pit road. 2 cars elect to stay out. One being a lapped car of the 10. So that's going to leave Ramsdell, the only car out there. He pit onto the last caution, but yeah, everybody else comes in, takes 4 tires here with just 20 laps to go. Going to restart with 19 to go. Definitely, Ramsdell's probably sitting there going, wish that didn't happen.
Yep. He's on 23 lap older tires. Everybody else, fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, obviously we saw once that top lane was able to start to get going with those fresh tires, they were able to slowly overtake those guys on older tires on the inside. So Ramsdell now has the track position, not quite as old tires, so we'll have to see if he can make a play with it.
He'll have about 18 laps to go. We shall see.
Definitely going to have some hungry drivers behind him as well. The 40XLI guys have been strong all day. Don't count out the 27 either of Corey Ennis. He's been up there quite often as well. Then those WL2 Motorsports guys going to find themselves lined up next to each other in row 3. Not bumper to bumper anymore and not up front. Just have to see if those guys can work some magic and find their way back to the front.
All right, stay tuned.
And while most of the bracket is kind of spoken for, the only kind of battle that's left is, I think, between, is it Jacob and Keenan? Yes, Jake and Keenan. They're battling it out still. Neither of them having a great day. Jake finds himself in the top 10. Did get some good stage points, while Keenan's kind of been riding at the back, currently scored 18th. So work to be done for the 45 camp. But it's Atlanta. Don't count them out just yet.
It ain't over till it's over. I'm interested to see just what happens with LeBombard and Collymore here. Yes, they're in different rows, but that can easily be remedied here at this track.
Yeah, definitely going to all be about this launch that the 97 car can get. He wants to get a good enough one to be clear, but he doesn't want to let the 39 clear the 58 either. Have to see. 97 gets a good launch, and just like we said, he did just good enough where he gets clear, but the 39 won't. For now, at least. Have to see. Looks like the 58 might have stalled it a little bit.
Yeah.
Might have played a little bit of games there. He's going to have some big momentum with the 27 pushing behind him down this backstretch. See if they can get up there to the 39. Right now, though, that top lane is kind of dead in the water. Here comes the 39 making a move. 84 is going to go with him. They are leaving that 97 on old tires out to dry. 39 to the lead again. Not quite able to clear. Now he will. He'll clear. Now what does he do?
And what does Daffin do behind? He's got the 58 who drops down to the inside. As
Looks like
does the
Daffin's mind has
39.
been made up for him.
Yep.
40 XLI cars go right to the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to leave him in the hands of the 27 of Corey Ennis and his teammate Joe Torres right behind Corey. Some strong cars still in that top lane. Don't be surprised to see them out to charge, especially with the 97 being on old tires right behind these 40 XLI guys. Going to be hard for Jeff to be a big contributing factor here if he starts to struggle.
58, the masterful driver here. He's able to kind of drift up and down, kind of slowing up these different lanes.
Certainly. Some great driving that we've seen tonight from numerous teams and whatnot. I don't think any two teams could be matched, though, with the 40XLI and WL2 teams tonight. They've certainly been masterful, and now, with coming to 16 laps to go, the 40XLI teammates find themselves nose to tail in control of this race, but far from the home stretch.
They will have a lap down car that's out there in front. That may be the tail end of the lead lap. That may be Dakota Reeder. Looking for some details here.
Well, now another strong car has joined that top lane. The points leader himself, Jordan Wenzel, finds himself now leading that top lane. And a guy we haven't talked about a lot, Edward Scherer Jr. in the 88 car finds himself in P4. Fourth car on the inside line, kind of boxed in right now, but don't be surprised if he doesn't start slicing and dicing. New face, no enemies yet. We'll see if he can make any enemies or make some friends.
That car that was coming back to the field, that was the 5 of Zach Carter.
Good job by Zach, staying out of the way, letting the leaders run their race. He got some big damage whenever the 09 spun. Now we see the 81 drifts way up the track. Some new players coming into form on this inside lane. The 12 of Eric Jeffers finds himself in P5, and Shane Trotter in the 1 car finds himself in P6. Top lane just unable to get anything going. Dropping back hard right now to the inside line. Gonna need to find something.
I think the 81 needs someone in front of him. He's got that nose damage a little bit that's still there from that earlier incident. Not quite as bad. Got some repairs made, but he needs someone in front.
Yeah, that nose looks back to square, so it looks like he should be okay, but just doesn't look like this top lane's able to generate the pushes that we've seen. That 84 car's lagging way off the 81 right now, so definitely not helping. Tony Japs looks like he's trying to join the party. He's going to force his way up there. That's going to hang the 81 out to dry. Ooh, contact
goes
between
around.
him and the 09. Still 3 wide.
Green flag stays out.
Unfortunate for the 42. No caution comes out for that spin. Interesting. We got one for the 09, but not for the 42. Unfortunate for Tony. Japs was having such a good run in the top 10. Now he's going to find himself with nowhere to go but backwards unless we get a yellow flag. But right now,
no yellow.
Top 3 cars remain unchanged. Top 5, 6 cars remain unchanged, but 3 wide behind them for 8th. For a second there, top lane's looking to get something going here. Now Daffin finds himself in front of the 81, trying to find any way to go up there and challenge this inside lane right now. Starting to see more cars join up too.
Oh, big lane change. That's the 3 of Torres that just dropped down to the inside. Now they're 3 wide.
Yeah, this 3 wide is not helping anything right now at all. Tight 3 wide as well. 81 and 70 are leaning on each other going through 2. You'd be surprised to hear that those guys are somewhat teammates.
Torres in the 3 slips up to the outside line. Jeff Ramsdale nosed out and dropped back in.
Oh, big wreck behind. Car hard on the outside wall. Might have been the 27 involved and the 9's involved. Meatball for him. 27 got some big damage as well,
Yep,
looks
yep.
like.
Meatball on the 27, Meatball on the Garrett Walden as well.
Doesn't look like the 27's necessarily too happy with the 9 car.
Just trying to go back and just see what happened there.
Yeah, just some really, really tight racing, it looks like. 9 doors, the 43, looks like up into the outside wall. Everything's looking good for the most part right here. 55, 4 wide, it looks like.
Oh, there's the 9, the
Oh.
27.
I don't know if the 9 didn't know the 27 was there. Interesting to see if we get a different look at that. Hard to see, kind of blocked by some other cars right now.
He's got the 55 to the inside. I think he just tried to avoid the 55 and didn't realize that car was there.
Yeah, certainly just a really bad spot for a lot of those guys to find themselves in.
There's a better shot.
Yeah, this could be a good shot of it. So the 9 dips below it as well. So, yeah, you know, while I can see that he would be avoiding the 55 at that point, once you dip below that line, it is on you to make sure that you're rejoining it safely. Those cars above you no longer have to necessarily yield to you since you were the one who went below that line. He wasn't forced or anything, so I can definitely see the frustrations from the 27 with the 9 there. Just unfortunate. Definitely a lot of cars and not a lot of real estate, but just kind of a bang-bang situation there with those guys.
Now with the lights on the pace car with 7 laps to go, we'll probably go back to green with 5 to go. And that's going to put 40 XLI out in front.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they pull off this restart. We obviously saw WL2 Motorsports do a really good job whenever they were 1-2 of getting this restart down. Going to be important that these guys nail it now.
WLT2 finds themselves back in 7th and 8th.
Yeah, big shout out right now to the 97 of Jeff Ramsdale. We thought he was dead in the water whenever he was the only car to stay out on those tires, but he's held his own. He's been that 3rd car on the inside line that whole run pretty much, and he is doing a fantastic job. Running in 3rd right now. Might not have the tires that he needs to go get slicing and dicing, but this could be a massive points day for the 97. It looks like the 39 is going to take the top, and they're going to try and do this team restart that we saw the 84 and 3 do early in the race.
All right, lights are off. We'll go green next time by. Kai Callamore will be your control car from the outside. Teammates are controlling that front line, and they'll have just behind them Ed Shearer and Jeff Ramsdale.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting here. Some new faces in the front now. Now we see Scher Jr. and behind him going to be Shane Schroeder. Haven't seen those guys necessarily lead a line or make any charges on their own tonight. We'll have to see if they're able to pull something off on this restarting where they are, but field is in the hands of the 40 XLI cars. It's going to be on them if they do it right. I don't think anybody will challenge them, but one slight slip up and next thing you know they could be getting swarmed.
Callamore making a big push, started 14th in this race, finds himself up in front. Living up to the predictions so far. Let's not jinx him, but he's so far having a great race.
Yeah, he got those stage points that he was talking to us about pre-race as well. Ran a really, really good race. So is his teammate. Both 40 XLI cars have looked really good today at the Super Speedway race, but definitely a long way from finished here. Going to go green with 6 laps to go as the pace car ducks off for what should hopefully be the last time.
Green flag flies here in Atlanta. Kai Callamore leads the field.
Yeah, big launch from the 39. He's able to get down in front of that 58 nicely. The 1 car failed to get the restart that he needed to go help that 88 car. Scher Jr. is going to be stuck in no man's land unless he can get somebody to pull up and help him. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, though. 12 is going to go underneath him. He's going to be at the graces of the field until the first car will go join him or the one catches back up. But right now that top lane, non-existent for the most part.
97 did exactly what he needed to do, hugging that bumper, that 58, finds himself again in third with just 5 laps to go.
Yeah, Ramsdale doing exactly what he needs to do now. Top lane starting to get a little bit more formed. Have to see if these cars... Ooh, we're going to see a little 3 wide action there. The one car, Shane Trotter, got shucked out. They didn't like the pace that he was forming. Big chaos going on in the back right now. Starting to settle it back down. Going to be coming back to 4 laps to go. This is when the pay window is wide open. Have to see who makes the bold moves to go to the front.
Not a lot of takers, not a lot of help.
No, now the 88's got the 3 of Joe Torres behind him. We know Joe Torres has been strong tonight, giving some really good pushes to the back bumper of that 88 car.
4 laps to go.
Yeah, that top lane's starting to come. Now they've got all the way up to the 84. Now they'll get up to the 12 car. They're going to be battling for 4th across the line this time.
Thought the 12 was going to be a taker there and jump out in front, but he's
There he
debating
goes.
it. There he goes.
Now he'll jump up in front of the 88 car. We haven't seen the 88 car pushing tonight. This could draw the hand of these leaders up front. Going down into 3. No momentum to the top lane right now. Have to see if they can build a good run off of 4. 88 all over the rear bumper of the 12.
Lead pack of
Just 2
3
laps to go
drivers
here.
kind of fan out a little bit to break up that air.
Yeah, we see chaos in the back, but right now these top 4 cars all single file with just 2 laps to go. Top lane's going to need some big laps here if they want to get up and challenge them. They're going to need some more cars to jump up and join them. Now I'm looking at that 84 Daffin. We know he's been good, but now that top lane, as we say, it's broken up, and now they're starting to go backwards.
Yeah, no help on that outside line. Collmore continues to lead. He'll pick up the white flag. White flag flies here in Atlanta. Kai Collmore leads the field.
Yeah, just 1 lap to go for these 40 XLI drivers with a hungry pack behind them. The 97, the 84, all close enough to try and stick their nose out if they want to. 97 starting to peak it. Doesn't quite commit to it yet. Gonna be hard to do it now. Here comes the 25 further on back, but Collymore with a commanding lead. 97's all over the back bumper of the 58, but not going to be enough. Kai Collymore and Eric Lombard secure the 1-2 for 40 XLI, and Kai Collymore delivers his promise.
Also, great finish for Ramsdale. He holds on against overwhelming odds as these leaders celebrate their victory.
I try not to be biased, Rick, being a 40 XLI driver as well. But that was awesome in my opinion. I know I'm biased. I know everybody's going to flame me for being biased. But what an incredible drive from those 2 all race long. Did what they needed to do.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to blame you. Great.
Jeff Ramsdale as well with the old tire call. Manages to come home P3. We thought he was dead in the water, and he proved us wrong like it seems they do every single week.
Absolutely. All right,
Get
these
their picture
drivers
taken.
take their picture up in front. Nice shot of your podium. Stay tuned. We'll have interviews with all 3 drivers momentarily once they get done with their obligatory pictures.
Looks like they've got their pictures taken. I'd say these 2 leaders are just waiting for that 97 to go ahead and clear on out. So that way they can do the burnout. Doesn't look like the 97's going to afford them that. He likes to be in the picture, and I can't blame him. That was a great drive. He'll pull off now. Just a great drive from all 3 of those guys. They did a great job all night staying up front. Fantastic job by all of those guys to come home with the finishes they did.
Solid. Absolutely solid. Yeah. A duet here of burnouts between the 40 XLI drivers.
Yeah, myself, Kai, and Eric have had some conversations. I'm like, guys, if I'm going to keep commentating these races, I need to be able to have you guys, doing some burnouts while I'm doing this. I need to make it, fun. And they finally listened, Rick. They finally listened.
They did. They did. And they're still celebrating. All right, with that, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at where we wound up here. All right, your winner, Kai Collymore, brings it home. 48 laps led by that 40 XLI driver. In second, his teammate Eric LeBombard and Jeff Ramsdell finishes in third. In fourth, you've got Alex Daffin. Scott Thomas finishes in fifth. Joe Torres in sixth. Jake Musso in seventh. Eric Jeffers in eighth. And Vince Burns in ninth. And Eric Scher in 10th.
Yeah, Shane Trotter is going to finish 11th, Cody Sandlin in 12th, Dakota Reeder in 13th, Josh Douglas in 14th, Wenzel in 15th, Keenan Shoddy in 16th, Brian Jones in 17th, Billy Smith in 18th will round out your lead lap finishers, and then in 19th and 20th will be Tony Jeffs and Zach Carter.
All right, in 21st, come on, finish up here, come on, 21st. Well, I'd love for it to be able to advance, and there we go. Finally, Matthew Wheeler finishes in 21st. Lucas Gortman 22nd. 23rd is Coriolis. Austin Walton in 24th. Garrett Walton in 25th. Keith Fonseca in 26th. Eddie Musso Jr. 27th, and Tyler Lem finishes in 28th.
Yeah, hard charger will go to Vince Burns, gaining 17 spots throughout the race. Great job by Vince. Alec Daffin of WL2 Motorsports will lead the most laps. Jeff Ramsdell will pick up an extra point for the fastest lap, and obviously Gortman started on pole, and just the race of misery there for the 6 car.
Not the race he was hoping to have, that's for darn sure. All right, as the 39 begins to make his way through the grass and continuing his burnout, I think we've got our interviewees. Let's go ahead and start taking a peek at them. Bear with me here while we get set up for interviews here. Let's grab Mr. Jeff Ramsdell and move him into the broadcast booth. Jeff, congratulations on your P3.
Thanks, guys. Finally got a night to talk to you guys.
Yeah, Jeff, we were kind of scratching our heads if you're going to be able to after you were the only car to stay out on those old tires, but you made it work better than anybody could have imagined. How were you able to kind of manage those old tires while staying up in that top 3?
Well, when I was riding behind the other guys, I wasn't forcing it in the corner, just riding, saving tires. Because I came in on that second to last caution, took tires there, and I'm like, you know what, this is the last time I'm pitting. But then I saw everybody coming in, I'm like, it might be a sitting duck, but got down and was just riding there in the bottom there. I knew I didn't have the tire on the outside to make a move, but if those guys up front made a move, I could do something, get underneath them. But at the end there, I just tried to make a move on the outside, and it was too late. I knew Alec was going to go with me. I would have done it earlier, but I'll take a P3 after the season I've had.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we were debating. You'll hear it you get a chance to rewatch the broadcast. We were certainly debating, but as those laps are winding down, you stayed right there on the bumper of the 58. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can't hear you guys.
All right. Well, Jeff, congratulations on your finish. We'll can you hear us now? Any shout outs?
Test.
Oh, yep. I think we lost him.
We've lost Jeff.
Yep. Well, we'll move him back into the in the press room lobby, and with that, let's go ahead and grab Mr. Eric LeBombard. See if he can hear us. Eric, congratulations on your second place finish.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, I think obviously the play there was quite simple to push your teammate, but you guys did that all night long, regardless of if it was Kai in front or you in front. Kind of walk us through how that teammate kind of synergy works with you guys and how you guys were able to be so dominant here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, every super speedway, it's like me and Kai working together. Doesn't matter who's in front or who's pushing. Talladega, we could have gotten a 1-2. It came down to like a tandem pushing when I was pushing Kai, but yeah, I mean, I was happy to push Kai so he could finally get one. And, second place isn't too shabby. He swept the stages. We swept both stages, getting 1-2 in both, I believe. It was close, but I'm not sure.
It was certainly close, but it was definitely an excellent display. I'll turn it over to Rick here, but just a great job of driving out of you two. It was definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely solid performance, and really, I will say, as we were watching as this race unfold, you were no stranger to going 3 wide. You certainly took that opportunity every chance you got.
Oh yeah, I took it 3 wide. Like I loved taking it 3 wide through the tribal, and I don't know if a lot of these guys who just don't have a look left button binded, but a couple times I would go there and just not be given room. Especially with Lucas, I went there one time. He just turned low on me, wrecked himself, and tried to say I took him out, which is funny. But there's a reason why he's gonna be watching the rest of the summer bracket from the couch and not competing in it. So just to all the guys that were not leaving me room, yeah, I was not really in the mood to lift. And yeah, I mean, if they don't want to wreck, they should leave room when I'm there.
All right. Well, congratulations on your finish tonight. Any shout outs tonight?
Kai Collarmore, or just not wrecking in the front. Yeah, I had that one instance where he got super loose in front of me. That was horrifying. But yeah, he was a great leader that entire race, and I was happy to be counted on Junior that race and let him be Ricky Bobby. But yeah, shout out to Corey Ennis also. We had some laps where we three were working together good. I know it didn't turn out too hot for him. I'm sure he's gonna love Cody Sandlin. Have a conversation with him. Those two are gonna get along. But yeah, just overall fun race.
All right. Well, congratulations on your finish. We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
You got it. All right. That's Eric LeBombard finishing there in second. But with that, we need to bring this masterful prognosticator here. He called his race. He called his position. He called the stage. Kai Collimore joins us in the booth. Congratulations, Kai, on your victory.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so relieved it finally came.
Well, you told us you joined us in the pre-race interviews and said this is what your goal was. This was the plan. Here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping I didn't jinx myself or get like a
I was pretty sure you did. I was absolutely positive. I didn't say it, but it's not often the driver calls it and actually delivers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I did it, but I'm glad it finally happened. I think that's the only time I'm gonna do something like that ever again. not gamble there.
Well,
Kai,
points wise,
I'll definitely say that we're even now from Chicagoland since I brought you up in the booth and now you won after I took you out at Chicagoland. So I'd say that we're even now. But Kai, obviously you had a great race there, winning the stage, big points day. But we did see that you about wrecked yourself on the apron there going into one. Kind of give us a little walkthrough of your headspace there as you're drifting it into one.
So the reason for that is my dad came in and he said goodnight because he had to work, and I was caught off guard. So I don't know how it happened. I took one hand off the wheel and I was like, oh shoot, I'm on the apron, and I honestly thought I was gonna wreck Corey or just fall over to the back, but it was definitely an oh crap moment. So, but we gathered it back up, and we luckily got lined up with the guys that we needed to be. But it was very scary.
It was scary in the booth as well. We were not sure what was going to happen, but you figured it out. So
definitely.
Hey Jeff,
Got my audio back.
Yeah, welcome back. Kai, pause 1 second. We'll give Jeff Ramsell the opportunity for shout-outs tonight.
I gotta go. Sorry.
That's all right. I was going to wait till you guys get done, but yeah, I got to thank my wife for everything she does. Everyone in the league. This is the toughest league I'm in. A lot of good drivers. I got to thank my team, IFRK, Lucas, Tyler, Matt, Keith. Shadi was in our group today, so that was good. Those guys had some trouble. You guys for putting on the broadcast, and hopefully we can keep this streak going. Wilkesboro will be tough, that's for sure.
Thank you. Well, congratulations, Jeff. Appreciate you dropping
Thank
back
you.
in. You got it. Well, kind of puts it back in your hands. Shout-outs for tonight.
All right. First and foremost, I gotta shout out my mom for giving birth to me and my dad for helping. Gotta shout out 40XLI for giving me an absolute rocket and a great teammate, Eric. I'm gonna give him a big kiss on the forehead when I see him. You can bet that. Gotta thank Outback for giving me the beautiful scheme tonight, and we're gonna go get a bloomin' onion on Monday because
Gotta do it.
Ryan,
Yeah,
you got to support it.
Yeah. Jordan Booth for giving me this rocket on 40XLI, and you guys for broadcasting. And I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I I don't have my card with me, so
Just save
No,
them for the rest. Save them for the next time.
There you go.
yeah, we'll do that.
All right, there's your winner tonight. Kai Collmore brings it home, wins the stage, wins the race, and gives a great interview. So there you go. Kai Collmore finishes here in the Quaker State 200, the winner. Jordan, heck of a finish here. Heck of a race altogether, actually.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it couldn't have worked out better for the 40XLI team. Big points day for both of those guys. Max points for both of them. So big shout out to Kai and Eric, and as well as Jeff. Jeff did a really good job putting himself in the right positions and had a quiet race and found his way into third. So definitely big props to those three. And yeah, I mean, honestly, for how sketchy this car was, we had a lot of drivers save cars that were 90%
Unsavable.
wrecked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unsavable.
they did a great job. Just a huge testament to the level of drivers that are in here. And like Eric said, we're getting down to that point of the season where if there's room there, these guys ain't lifting anymore. I'd say that there's definitely some tensions, and there'll definitely be some tensions after this race. But overall, just a great race.
Well, I will say, as we've been closing out this broadcast, the chatter is rocking in Discord right now. So.
Yeah, it always is, Rick. Always is.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that wraps up tonight's broadcast here in the IWM Broadcast Network. We just brought home a great race from the iNRS series here at Atlanta. So for Jordan and myself, we thank you so much for tuning in, and hope to see you next week here on the broadcast channel. Good night, folks.